So I'm here straight from the Conscious Life Expo where I got to hang out with a lot of other people kind of like me and really dive deep into all the very pertinent spiritual topics of this moment. And I really peeled back the covers on one of my favorite topics, 5D, very different from 5G. That's 5D as in dimension, fifth dimension. So, fifth dimension is something that we've been transitioning into for some time now. This transition started a few years ago, maybe several years ago. Different people feel the transition in their physical body, their emotional body, at different times. As you know, when these things happen, these energy shifts on earth, it's not like we wake up and everything's different. I like to think of it as like when you drive across the border from California into Nevada, the earth doesn't suddenly look different. If there wasn't a sign there saying entering Nevada, you would have no idea that you were crossing the border. The changes are very gradual. And so it is with these big energetic shifts on the earth. So fifth dimension and the shift into it is a big one. So what exactly is fifth dimension? What I learned at the expo this week, I guess the good news is that there really isn't anything out there new that I discovered that I haven't been teaching you for years already. And so if you're here, you're in good hands. As this is playing out so strongly now, especially for those of us who are really surrendered to it, I was hoping for kind of a new manual. But the information remains the same, and that's a very good thing because it means that it's pretty simple. So what is fifth dimension? It's the step after third and fourth dimensions. And of course, before that, there were first and second. So think of everything from just a cell on Earth, an amoeba, coming up until we landed in third and fourth dimensions where we're in these physical bodies. And we are not only meat and bones with a little bit of analytics, limited analytics going on up here in our limited brains, but we're also aware that there's something larger than us. We're spiritually aware of something beyond, something more. And maybe there's kind of a longing to be with one of that, or a sense when we're not in alignment with it. What fifth dimension is when we take that leap, and it is a quantum leap. It's the biggest leap between any of the dimensions. When we take the leap from third and fourth into fifth is when we shift that perspective of being in a physical body and being aware that there is something more, something greater out there, and we become the greater that is out there. We become one with that energy that is greater than us. We become as it and of it. And then in that moment, we switch from being a human being leading a spiritual life to being a spirit leading a human life. And so that which is spirit, that which is energy, comes to the forefront of our being and becomes the first expression. And that shifts everything. It shifts the earth that we stand on, because it basically means that to a degree we're taking time and space out of the equation, because that which is greater than us is beyond time and space, beyond the physical, right? And so now, if we're going to be coming more into being one with that than being this physical, what happens on the physical realms when it becomes secondary? It's a big shift. So there are things called 5D symptoms. And yes, we'll get to a beautiful sound healing here in a moment. The instruments are very eager to play with you today. But I'd like to really express all of this information because it seems very pertinent at this time, and it seems so much the answer to so many of some crash and burns that have come to my attention recently by friends. So what are 5D symptoms, right? A lot of people experience restlessness, sleeplessness. A lot of people experience exhaustion, lethargy, hard to wake up in the morning, headaches, dizziness, vertigo, anxiety, feeling off. Now, of course, we have all of the events of 2020 and 2021 to compound that. But back up for a second and ask yourself if it wasn't this transition that allowed this to happen, to push us through this birth canal so that we come sooner out the other side, to really wake us up, to shake us up. So I'm not sure which is a symptom of which, the events of the day and those things that, and 5D and the transition into it, or the other way around. So what do we do? What do we do? You know, it's very simple, and that's the most confusing thing, because when everything's falling apart, and maybe you've lost loved ones, and maybe you've been ill, and maybe you've lost your work, maybe you've lost all of your stability and your foundation, and there's an unknown future before you. And so it's very tricky to say that the answer to all of that does not lie in the material. It lies in the energy. It's very tricky to do that because money is material. Our physical bodies are material. And if that is what we're needing, it's tricky to say, okay, I'm not going to worry about what I don't have. And instead, I'm going to go inside and align with this simple light, this simple peacefulness, this joy, and I'm going to become one with that which is greater than me, that which is greater than all of us, and then allow my life to progress from there. It's a trick, and it's a good trick to learn how to do. So with that, I say have patience, stay the course, set practices for yourself, and first and foremost, pull the plug on all of the habits that aren't serving you. Do it now. Pull the plug. Replace them with something nourishing, something lifting, something enlightening. So if you're getting stuck in front of that TV every time you want to turn that TV on, go for a walk. Go outside. Get outside. Sing. Go hug a tree. Do something that has to do with nature. Eat the purest foods that you can. Consider the vibrational frequency of the foods that you eat. Consider any cruelty or non-sustainability that is involved in the foods that you eat, and see what happens when you only put the purest foods in your body. Do this for a week, do this for a month, and then see how you change. See how you brighten and sharpen and clear, and how things are starting to flow into your life. Drink pure water. Don't drink the tap water. I'm sorry, it's icky, especially here in San Diego. It wasn't good 30 years ago, trust me. It's really gross now. But drink, if you can, alkaline water. You know, that will empower you during this time of COVID-19, as viruses can't exist in an alkaline environment. They thrive in an acidic environment. So all of the acidic foods that you put in your body are actually creating an environment that would be a more receiving host to COVID-19. So see how that raises your vibration. Rest. Don't fight those urges to rest, to take naps, to lay down at the beach, by the lake, under the tree. Don't fight those urges. Go for them. If you feel the urge to go be with nature, do it. And go without Wi-Fi. If you need your phone for whatever reason, for safety, or maybe you have children that need to reach you, or you need your camera to take photos of the beautiful places you're going to visit, see what happens when you turn your Wi-Fi off for an hour at a time, a day at a time if you can, and go out where there's no Wi-Fi and see, measure, do you feel different? This is when we start to really empower ourselves and come into alignment and start to really know what's going on. The last thing I want to say before we go into the sound healing is that big jumbled mess of events, the conflict and the conspiracy and the complexity, the chaos. Isn't that amazing? They all start with C. I'm not sure what that's all about, right? That's all third and fourth dimension. All of it. All of it is. So when we step into fifth dimension and we observe all of this chaos, we observe it with compassion and understanding, and also a separation from it. We observe it as if we're observing two cats that are fighting because that is their instinct, or two children who are having an argument because that's what children do. They're not mature enough yet to be peaceful and be gracious with each other. So these events that are happening on Earth are happening because portions of humanity are not mature enough spiritually, are not evolved enough yet to not need to take a stand, to understand that the fastest way out of it for themselves and everyone is to be part of the light, the simplicity and the love that is what everybody's fighting over, the lack of that. If everyone had the simplicity and peace and love in their life, there'd be nothing to fight over. There would be no conflict. And so be the answer. I know, we've been hearing that for decades. You'd think it would sink in by now. We're not the fastest race in the universe. But we're getting there. And we have the help of this transmission into fifth dimension. And so today, a journey into that simplicity and love and unity, that which is the perspective of life from fifth dimension. It doesn't mean that the conflict goes away, but it means that the conflict is not residing in your heart. So, if you're not already, I always recommend wearing earphones or earbuds to really receive the frequencies of these instruments. The intention of today's journey is nurture. Taking a breath. And as you breathe, observing your breath, observe your breath right now. as if it is the greatest miracle that has ever been. Really allow appreciation for that miracle that perpetually is reborn within you. Gratitude, reverence. As you witness the breath, witness the miracle that is the breath, that is life. Ask you now to simplify your focus once again and witness, observe, however it appears to you, the essence of a miracle. The miracle itself. What is a miracle in and of itself? Present itself to you as. Of a miracle, if it has one. If you're so inspired, I'd love to see your answers in the comments. aspects of your physical and emotional being. To surrender all tension, all stress, all sensations of conflict. As you soften into the essence, the color, the light of miracle. Miracles, to rock, cradle, and nurture every other aspect of you. Physical, mental, emotional beings held in the arms innocence of a child, allowing your physical self, your emotional self to just melt as if lying in angel's wings. The innocence of a child, taking now a deeper breath, and with infant-like movements, beginning to move back into your physical body, moving your fingers, your toes, as an infant moves with no goal, no reason, simply moving to move. Beginning to slowly move your hands and your feet, maybe your face. While staying with that inner nurture, that centeredness, that simplicity. Staying with the essence of miracle as you take a deeper breath now. Stretch. Moving back into the physical. Maybe opening the eyes and seeing if as you open the eyes you can maintain that gaze of wonder, of gratitude, as if observing a miracle. Looking at your own hand, observing the miracle of physical you. A spirit living a human life. Preparing now to move back into your day. A little stretch, a little yawn. And here we are, as innocent as children. We wish. But in our soul essence, in our spirit that is embodying these bodies, we are. And so we take baby steps into our fifth dimensional being, into the experience of living life as the spirit rather than as the physical and the analytics. And so we begin to observe the beauty in life, the beauty in the struggle, the beauty in the breaking through. We begin to live into the moment that we as humanity move free from this birth canal and into a life of peace and unity. And so with that, I send you forth into your day. Go be the light. Go walk in the sun. Drink pure water. Eat pure food. Turn off your TV. Step away from Wi-Fi. Yeah. Make it a practice this week to enter that inner monastery. Give it a week and just see how you feel. See how life begins to change. See what you begin to attract by the end of the week. And I'd love to hear about it. With that, many blessings, everyone. Onwards we go into 2021. So I'm here every Sunday and Thursday. If you would like more sessions like this, you can find them on my YouTube channel at Shelley Reef. If you're interested in any of the instruments that I play or in seeing the beautiful paintings of the light, please go to my website at shelleyreef.com. And this Wednesday at Sacred Sound of the Soul, we will be having a very special event, a gallery showing of the paintings of light and the way that they have progressed in 2020. So if you're interested in taking that dive into visual frequency, then I'll see you this Wednesday. Many blessings, everyone. I love you so. Be well. Have a beautiful week.